welcome to our cooking class. I'm so excited that you were able to join us for this virtual event, and I'll do a cooking class for you for our new summer products, a lot of them, some returning summer products, and how we can whip up an amazing summer meal in 30 minutes or less. A lot of this would take 20 minutes or less, but because I'm talking through it, it might take a little bit longer, but I'm so excited that you're here and joining. So a lot of you know a little bit about Epicure, but maybe not the whole story. So I'm just going to give you a little backstory as to Epicure and who I am and how I got involved in all of this. So as you probably saw from my post, my name is Angela, and I work full-time as an ICU nurse here in Halifax. And I started with Epicure probably about 4 years ago. My son at the time was 2. And at that time, I hadn't lost any of my baby weight. I lost 5 pounds and he was less than 5 pounds. So I pretty much just lost him, and I was super frustrated with my body and my size. And I was very naive with my first child, thinking that my body would kind of bounce back and that breastfeeding would fix everything, but not when you're eating cake for breakfast. So I'm also gluten-free. I have to eat gluten-free, unfortunately. And so I was introduced into Epicure. And when I started having their products, I loved it. I started following their Epic Life program, and I lost 22 pounds in the first 3 months. And I just really fell in love. I knew the products before, but I was kind of just using the 3 onion and kind of throwing it in my spaghetti sauce, like probably some of you right now. You know, I knew about the Extraordinary Trio and the Extraordinary Cheese Dip, but I really didn't use the products as fully as what you can, and when you actually read the labels on them, use them to their full potential. So by doing the Epic Life program, I absolutely fell in love with everything. I also love that everything in the catalog was gluten-free. I didn't have to go through the ingredient list and try to read if there's any hidden gluten and things. So for that, I was hooked and I fell in love with it. Not only that, Epicure's passion for healthy eating and changing people's lives one plate at a time really spoke to me, and it was we had equivalent passions for that. And me being a full-time ICU nurse, I really have a passion and love for just being able to change people's lives through food. And plus, I love food, so it's even better to work for a company that gives you a discount on food. So that being said, Epicure started over 20 years ago, and we actually are a Canadian company, and we started by women. So that's pretty awesome. We started in Victoria, BC, by this lady here that's on the first page of your catalog. Her name is Sylvie Rochette, and she is the founder of the company, and she started it as a working mom, and she was just trying to put food on the table, and she just was working and wanted quick, easy things. So she started developing spice blends that would make her time when she got home after work to just make it quicker and easier for her to cook. And people, her friends and family, were kind of interested in what these spice blends were. And anyway, the company kind of rolled off from there back in 1997, I believe. So really, that's where we came from. The red pepper jelly and like the 3 onion, all the lemon dilly, actually, all those things were from the very beginning. And now her daughter, Amelia, who's amazing, she's taken over the company, and she's really taken us into this whole clean eating, healthy movement, which I'm so excited about. And Amelia is actually one of the youngest female CEOs in Canada, so that's pretty exciting. So like I said, all of Epicure products are 100% gluten-free. They're also 100% nut-free, which is one thing that I absolutely love. We also are very sugar and sodium conscious, so it means that we have a lot less sugar and sodium than what you would find in the grocery store. We are free from artificial colors and sweeteners, and if you look, there's a never ever list, and these are a list of things that you would commonly find in your grocery store items, like in the ingredient list, but you would never ever find them in an Epicure product. So yes, and about 85% of our products are part of the non-GMO verification project, which is that genetically modified ingredients and stuff. So they work very hard to find quality ingredients, and I know some things like the lemon that we use took 10 years to find the best product. So we only try to use the best, and I really appreciate that about them. So tonight for you, I'm going to be cooking. We're going to be doing, a lot of you seem really interested in some of the new summer products. So I'm going to be doing our cheddar and jalapeno cornbread, and like I said, this is 100% gluten-free. Our dessert tonight, we're gonna keep it a little bit simpler because I overdid it with everything else. So we're gonna do our chocolate pudding, which is super quick and super easy, and you'll love it. We're also gonna do our coleslaw. We're gonna be doing Tuscan chicken burgers, corn on the cob, and we're gonna do a little feisty green sauce over top of that corn on the cob. So like I said, I probably took on too much for a 30-minute window, but bear with me, it's gonna be delicious and you'll get to see it all here. So we'll get started right away. And like I said, if there's comments, leave comments. I know this is a video, so I won't be able to answer them live, but I will definitely answer them as we go. So, and one thing I wanted to say too is that do not feel like I am a guru or that I am like a perfect person in the kitchen. I definitely, tonight, for example, I ordered pizza for my children and my family. So this is not, these are all suggestions. Don't feel overwhelmed. I feel right now there's such mom guilt and things. So definitely don't feel like there's pressure that you need to be perfect. And I just want to make sure that you know that this is not something that I would judge you on if you have processed food and stuff, because we have processed foods too. But Epicure is here to help you if you want to replace some of those things in your pantry, some of those like go-to things, and especially if you have any allergies in your household. Believe me, it's so nice to just be able to have things in the pantry that you can quickly grab and that take like 20 minutes or less to make. So this is what we're here for. We're here to help you. And now with the pandemic, people are eating 3 meals a day at home, which we've never done before mostly. So it's a whole new world. So we're gonna start off with a cheddar and jalapeno cornbread. I have not tried this yet myself. I was only able to get one package for my pre-order for the new product. So this is my only package, so I've been saving it. So we're here to do it for you guys today. So all the ingredients, or all the directions, sorry, are on the back of the package. So you just have to read the back of the package and it tells you how to do it. So it's super simple. And this tells us in a large microwavable bowl, heat 3/4 of a cup of milk with 1/4 of a cup of butter. So I already have my 1/4 of a cup of butter in there already. And I'm just going to use 3/4 of a cup, and this is actually soy milk because that's what I have. So, and that's a nice thing, you can use what you have and what you want. So we're trying to be dairy conscious here. So this goes in the microwave, how long does it say? For 1 minute. So I'm just gonna pop it in the microwave. Bear with me while you wait. And put that in. And in the meantime, we're gonna be putting this in the microwave actually to cook. And we have our microwave silicone ware. So as you see with the steamers and with all of our other things, this is a cake pan. They can go in the oven if you need to. So you can cook this in the oven if you want to, but I'll tell you the difference. So to cook it in the oven, it would take about 35 to 40 minutes to cook in the oven. And we're gonna be cooking this in 9 minutes or less in the microwave. So just to show you that comparison as to how long it takes. So, but like I said, you can definitely throw this in the oven if you want to. It's safe for that as well. But these are nice because they do have microwave cooking. These are food safe silicone, and they make it so much easier. They're dishwasher safe, they're freezer safe, and pretty much the only thing you can't do in them is use a knife on them. So the other thing you don't want to do is if you have that PAM spray, like that cooking spray, those have propanes in them, so those will void your warranty because they'll break down the silicone. So you won't want to use that. Otherwise, knives and silicone sprays, or the PAM sprays, don't use that. But so we're just going to oil our pan here. I just put a little bit of vegetable oil, and I just have our little basting brush, and I'm just generously coating the oil on the side. And it sounds like our microwave is ready, so I'll go grab that. So our butter and our milk are in there, and we're going to whisk in 2 eggs, which I have here. So as you see, these are little prep bowls. They do have a silicone cover on them, and you would have saw, well, you wouldn't have saw, but I use these for my measuring cups too. So I don't know if you can see that on there, but there's measurements on the side. So they have the cups. So it's 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and the full thing is 1 cup. And they also have the mils on the other side. So they're really great, and they do have the silicone lids on them that you can pop them in the They're great for portion control. You pop them in the fridge and stuff there. So this is 2 eggs that I've already whisked up, and just have those there. And I'm just gonna whisk the butter and the milk and the eggs together. I apologize that you can't really see that. And then we're going to add our mix to it. And these are our Prep Pro scissors. So these are actually Epicure brand. They're super heavy duty. They're really nice. I guess we had them about 10 years ago or so, and people love them. They still use their old ones today. And so they brought them back. So they're really nice handle, and they actually are super sharp and really great. So I actually really like them. I'm so glad that they brought them back, because I didn't have them last time. So dump that in. So we're just gonna mix this up. And I'm using one of our kitchen utensils. All of our kitchen utensils have stainless steel on the inside, and they're coated in that same silicone, just like our bakeware. So they are heat resistant up to 425 degrees. And they're nice and sturdy on the inside, and they're just coated in that silicone. So they are super easy to clean. They're nice and sturdy because of that stainless steel. And they also don't heat up and melt unless it's over 425 degrees. So they can rest on your pan without getting all the scorch marks kind of on the side. The other thing I really like about them is that they don't have any separation. So all of our things are just all one. It's all coated. There's no separation. And I've noticed that some of my old ones that do that, the silicone part might come off like a wooden handle. And I just used to find that water get trapped in there. And just made me think that bacteria is probably getting trapped in it. So I didn't really want something that would trap bacteria to kind of be in with my food. So potentially, you know, food poison. So with that, you have half a cup of shredded cheddar cheese that you just fold in, which folding, if you watch a Schitt's Creek show, you might appreciate that comment. So folding is just gently stirring and kind of folding it over the batter. So that's it. That's all there is to it. So this is it. We're just going to pour this into our pan, and we're going to cook for 9 minutes. To be honest, my microwave's a little bit hotter, so I'm only going to do 8 minutes and see how that is. And then we let it rest for 5 minutes. So, because if not, like, if you overcook it, it will get drier. So I'd rather try it for 8 minutes and see how it is. And I know from cooking with other bakeware and stuff, like our gingerbread and our banana bread and stuff, it takes less time for my microwave. So I have an 1100 watt microwave, I believe. So put this over here. Okay, so there's our cornbread. So I'll put it in for 8 minutes, and we'll see how it is. So, okay, here we go. So I'll move this out of the way. And then next I'll move on to our chocolate pudding. This just has to sit for about 10 minutes or so, and this is super easy to make. Like I said, we're dairy conscious, so I'm using actually soy milk for this. So, and this is our 4-cup prep bowl. So it's very similar to the little prep bowls like I showed you, but it holds 4 cups, which is great. So I already have 2 cups of soy milk in here. You can use any milk or milk alternative. I've used coconut milk before, and I use cashew milk, whatever you want. And literally, you just have the milk, and you have the chocolate pudding mix, and you dump it in. One thing I will say is the brand name pudding mixes, they have artificial colors and stuff in them, which we just use cocoa. It's brown. You don't really need to have artificial colors in it, but one thing I've learned is that artificial colors are linked to hyperactivity in children. So typically our puddings and stuff like that are going to be given to children. So you know, we don't want to add to that for them. And also we use organic coconut palm sugar, and you can do the comparison to see like there's a much lower sugar ratio. Also, I love that I can just, we are dairy conscious, so I can make this dairy free. by just using the milk alternative and milk of your choice. It will thicken up regardless. So this takes about 2 minutes. You're just gonna whisk it with a whisk. This is our little mini whisk, which is good for little projects and stuff like that. And the nice thing about the 4-cup prep bowl is that it already has a lid with it. So I can just put the lid on it and throw it in the fridge and then I'll be done, so. Whisk it. This is really good too if you wanted to like whip up some cream. And you just fold that into the pudding once it's set. And you'll have like a nice mousse, chocolate mousse and stuff. You could also freeze these in popsicle molds and make your fudgesicles. You could add maybe a little more milk to it if you want it. And be super yummy. Okay, we'll try that. So it's still quite runny, so it needs that time to set. So I'll pop that over here. And you would put it in the fridge and do that. You can also do, instead of 1 cup of milk, you can do half a cup of, instead of 2 cups of milk, you can do 1 cup of milk and 1 cup of coffee if you wanted, or you can add like a little heat to it, make it a little Mexican kind of like chocolate pudding and make it hotter. A little heat to it, so that's good. Okay, next step, we're gonna be doing our burgers. And these are our Tuscan chicken burgers. So these are so good, I love these so much. And I'll be showing you how to use our 3-in-1 burger press, which is awesome. So I actually love it so much that I'm like out of this jar, so I had to get the new jar. So I just have 1 pound of ground chicken in here. And you can use turkey or ground beef or anything, it doesn't really matter. And that's probably about 1 tablespoon. So I'm just gonna empty that in there and then I'll measure out another tablespoon out of my new jar. This has like a tomatoey and garlic kind of flavor, and I don't know, I just love it. It's got sea salt already in this, so you don't need to add salt to your meat. It's got all the seasoning you need, you just have to add the 2 tablespoons of that. And it will be all that you need in there. Unfortunately, we literally just bought a barbecue today, so I would want to barbecue these, but it's also late at night, so I'm just going to put these on the stove top, which, speaking of, I should probably get the heat going. So this is actually our ground meat separator, which I'm using to kind of just mix up the meat. I know some people probably don't like touching meat. Some people don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it, but this is really good for when you're cooking as well. You can also use it to mash your bananas if you're making banana bread, or if you mash your avocados if you're making guacamole. The nice thing about it is it has the 3 prongs on it, and it makes it a lot easier to, there's a spider on my counter. I'm just like freaking out slightly, sorry. Oh dear God. He went the other way. We'll see. If you hear me scream, you'll know why. Like, slight panic mode there. But yes, it makes it a lot easier for the 3 prongs. I wasn't actually sold on it until I actually got one, because I was like, nah, do I really need it? I have a thing. But having the 3 prongs does actually make quite a bit of a difference. So I do feel it is worth it. So the 3-in-1 burger press. So the 3-in-1 burger press comes like this. So you have your little slider size here. This size is your full big burger patty size. And to make it a stuffed burger, you just turn this, and it has a little imprint here. So what you would do is you would take about 2/3 of the mixture for your patty, put it in, then you would press this in, and it makes an indent. That's about that shape there. And you could stuff it. So with these, if you want it, you could stuff it with any kind of cheese you want it, like maybe feta would be really good with the chicken burgers, or if you do like a dip or something, I've done like a creamy ranch dip inside, and so when you bite it, you get the creamy ranch kind of coming out. So that's really good for that. But right now I'm just going to do the 2 different sizes. So, and like I said, that's just there. It makes it super easy. So I'll tell you a little trick, especially with chicken or turkey, they stick a lot more. So I just put a little bit of oil. Where's my little brush that I had? So just kind of brush that around the edges because that'll make it not stick as much. The other thing you can do with these is you can actually make ice cream sandwiches. So you just fill this with ice cream and then just pop it out and you have like your little perfect ice cream sandwich, which is great. So super easy. You just put this in and then you use the top to just kind of shove it down, and then you have a perfect little slider. So this is your slider size, and then you're gonna have your bigger, so that's perfect for the kids. I find like it's a great size for the kids. It's not too small, and the nice thing about it with the flatness, you're not gonna get the big balls if you ever have problems with making your burgers and having the ball shape. So by having the oil on it, it makes it a lot easier. So that's your adult size, I guess, for your burgers there. So I'll just keep going here. And just keep, so this just literally fits inside. You can make the burgers as big or as small as you want, I guess, depending on how much meat you have. Probably make another bigger size. I don't find you need the oil with the ground beef as much because it has a lot more oil and fat in it, but with the chicken and turkey, they are a lot more lean of a meat, so I feel like you kind of need that oil just to kind of help with the stickiness. These ones are just gonna be little baby ones. There's that one. Oops. If you don't have enough in it, you kind of have to push it down a bit. There you go. And there's your other little slider. So I'll just pop these on the pan. I have a little oil in there already. And wash my hands here. One thing I'm using is our cutting board. This is a dual-sided cutting board, and they have the little grippy foots on them. The same little silicone, so it doesn't slide around if you're cutting. So I really like this one a lot. And the other ones you'll see me sliding around is our cutting mats. And I'll show you those in a sec. I hear that our cornbread stopped, so I'm just gonna grab that out of the microwave and let it sit for a minute. And as I thought, 8 minutes was enough, so you can see that it's cooked perfectly there. So we'll let it set for 5 minutes in the pan, and then we'll take it out. And I have our little cooling rack there. So next step is going to be our corn on the cob. If you haven't seen the corn on the cob, this is a really impressive way. Super easy. There's nothing worse than getting a big, huge pot of water and putting it on the stove when it's like 30+ degrees out. It's the last thing you want to do. But yeah, we do love our corn on the cob. So this is a way that you can cook it in the husk, so you don't have all that mess, and it only takes 5 minutes, and it's in the steamer. So you have to see it to believe it. So that's what I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to cut the ends off. So you want the stalk end, and we're going to leave the, whatever you want to call that, end on. So this is our knife too. This is a silicone knife. I said silicone, ceramic, sorry. So you just want to cut off that end, and then it fits in the steamer. So I have 4 corn on the cobs in the steamer. I'll tell you more about the knife in a sec. And I'm just going to put them in. So this is our multi-purpose steamer. And I'll pop this in the microwave for 5 minutes and tell you more about the stuff. So this knife, like I said, is ceramic. It's actually a really lovely knife. It comes with its own guard, so it can fit over top and protect the blade. You can see that there. It's pretty durable, but it is ceramic, so it can break if you put too much pressure and too much weight on it. So you don't want to be cutting like a big hardy squash or something that would be really hard and dense to kind of get through. They can chip and break because it is ceramic. But the nice thing about the ceramic part is that it will stay sharp for up to like 2 years or so without ever needing to be sharpened. And to be honest, I've had some of my ceramic lathes since I started my cooking classes 4 years ago, since I started my business, and they're still sharp, but they're guaranteed sharpness, and they have a warranty about a year on them. So just gonna flip our burgers there. They're looking lovely. There we go. And the other thing I was talking about is our cutting mats. So these you'll see me sliding around. I absolutely love our cutting mats so much. I use them every day and multiple ones a day, to be honest. They come in a 4-pack, so you'll get 2 large ones of that size. You'll get a gray and a purple, and you get 2 of the smaller size. And to be honest, I have a whole stack of them. And I keep them in the drawer and I pull them out, especially with younger kids. I have a 7-year-old and an almost 3-year-old, and they just, you know, you constantly have to cut up fruit and stuff for them and stuff. So it's just perfect. I love having that. So next, some of you were talking about the Feisty Green. I can't remember who wanted to see it, so I've been wanting to try this too. This having rave reviews, the Feisty Green sauce. It's got matcha in it and Parmesan and garlic and some lime powder. So I'm super excited to try this. So we just start with half a cup, and I'm using my little prep bowl, measured it there. Half a cup of mayonnaise in here. And then we're gonna add 1 tablespoon in the mix with 2 tablespoons of water and about a teaspoon of lime juice. So we're just gonna add 1 tablespoon here. This smells so good. It reminds me almost like a pesto, like a basil kind of smell. So I'm super excited to try this here. So we'll get this mixed up, and I'll add 2 tablespoons of water to this with our lime juice. I'm just gonna take this over. So there's 2 tablespoons of water there. I'm just gonna mix that up. Made a little runnier than I expected. So I see this like on its on this, it shows it right on the corn on the cob. So I thought maybe we'll try that tonight and see how that goes. And then I'm just gonna cut the lime. So one thing when you're squeezing a lime or a lemon, you'll wanna press on it and kind of help break up some of the membranes inside so that you can make it easier to kind of get all the juices out. And another tip too is to kind of cut the little nubs off, and it'll be easier to press it into your little lime or lemon press. So we have a 2-in-1 citrus press. So it has the green part is for the limes, and the bottom part is for the lemons, of course. And if you have a bigger lime, you can put it in the bottom part. And one thing is, you would think it would kind of go like that because it fits the shape, but you actually want to put your cut side down, and then that way all your juice comes out the bottom, and inside it's of course has the hole so that no seeds or anything will kind of go through. And by cutting the nub off, it makes it a little bit easier to kind of press and squeeze. So about 1 teaspoon, so it wouldn't even be maybe like a half a squeeze from that. And I love fresh lime or lemon. There is really no comparison. In the grocery store the other day, they didn't have any lemons, so I bought one of those, you know, little squeeze bottle lemons, and I've been spoiled with having fresh limes and lemons because it really tasted like garbage to me. It was not comparable to the fresh, bright flavor that you get from lime or lemon. So that's our sauce right there. So it needs to sit for a minute or so. So while that is sitting, I'll just set that over there. Ooh, that lime gives it a nice bright smell. It smells so good. The other thing too is with these, when you're done with these, you can actually put them in your drinks and stuff. So don't throw them out. They're really good that way too. So last up is our coleslaw. So I did pre-shred some already, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to use a mandolin, because I'm going to be honest with you, not something I thought was really that valuable before. And to be honest, if you buy the bags of pre-shredded cabbage, feel free, like all the best, because I get it. But if you want an option, this is really easy to use for the mandolin. So, and not only that, like I usually buy the matchstick carrots and stuff for the kids, just because I find it easier. Carrots, I worry about them choking and stuff on it. So, and you know, it gets a little pricey, like you're buying a whole bag. But to be honest, like, and especially with garden season coming, if you're growing your own cabbage or carrots or something, I know a lot of people are doing their own home gardens. This is a great way to kind of make your own coleslaw and stuff already. So, so this is a beautiful little tool. It's so easy to use. It comes with extra little blades and stuff that are kept in this. And it just, there's a little button in the back, kind of see, and you just pop your thumb through and it pops this off super easy. So there is 2 different sizes, this size, that for julienne. So I don't know if you can see the 2 different blade sizes. So they kind of do a thinner blade and a smaller cut. So you'll see I did the purple with a smaller cut, and then the green cabbage is with the bigger cut. So that's kind of the size. It does carrots really well too, if you wanted to do that. Or you could even do like probably potatoes and stuff. If you wanted to make like a matchstick kind of potato and do, probably be good as like a little patty and kind of make it that way. So I will do the larger one. You can also just do, so there's a blade here, of course, and these ones don't have any blades on them at all. So they will be just the sliced thin dollar-like slices. So, and they have 2 different sizes as well. So you can make a thinner or a thicker slice based on that. So that's what that is. And I will show you. So this just clicks into the bottom here like this, and it just snaps in at the top, and it's super easy. So I didn't do it. So if I'm not watching the camera and actually doing this, there, that's better. It makes a big snap, so you'll know it's in. And then it has the guard as well. So with this, you kind of want to stick your vegetable or whatever you're doing in there, and that kind of stabs it, and then you want to go, it shows the arrows which way you want to go. The cabbage is pretty big, so I feel pretty safe that I'm not going to cut my fingers off. And the nice thing about this is actually that it's dishwasher safe. So I actually find I don't cut myself with the cutting part so much as with the cleaning part is usually more my problem. So by just throwing them in the dishwasher, throw it in the top rack, and you'll be a lot safer with that. And I usually just store it kind of this side down because there's no sharp edges here. It's kind of just on this side, so store it that way. So you can see we have our nice little julienne slices, and with the cutting mat they do curve, and you can kind of just pop them in that way, which is nice. So, and I'll just bring this over here again. So with this, it's going to be 1 cup of mayonnaise, and where's my little, I'm going to use this again, sorry. Little feisty green. So I'm going to do, so the coleslaw comes in a jar, and there's 2 ways to make this. You can make the tangy vinaigrette one, or you can make a creamy coleslaw. We're more of a creamy coleslaw kind of family. And to be honest, I find the tangy vinegar one a little bit too tangy for my liking, but that depends on what you guys like at home. And you can also make a tartar sauce out of this as well. I also make a coleslaw with the Big Burger sauce. Big Burger sauce is called crack sauce in our house because it is so good. We love it so much. So we're just going to add 1 cup of mayonnaise to this. Like I said, that 1 prep roll is 1 cup, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the mix to that, and then we also add 2 tablespoons of vinegar with this. I will say too, this calls for 1/2 cup of mayonnaise and 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt. I've been trying to stay away from yogurt because I find it's bothering me a bit more, so I'm just using the full mayonnaise, but you can do whatever you want and you can follow the directions. And that's the beauty of a lot of the recipes, is that you just make it the way that you want and that works for your family. So just the 2 tablespoons of vinegar goes in there, and then you just mix it up. You can also shred up some carrot and stuff too and add that, and you can do whatever you like for that. So I want to show you the corn because that's super cool before we get too late, and I'll mix that all up better in a second. So we steamed our corn for 5 minutes. So I took it out of the microwave. It will be kind of hot, but it's been sitting here for a second. And I want to show you that if you just squeeze the bottom, you see the corn coming out. It comes out. You can see the steam and stuff coming out of it. I didn't cut all the way through there, so that's just sticking, but it takes all the garbage from the corn off, and you don't have all that big mess that you're trying to peel away, and you have nice hot cooked corn. So that's your steamed corn, and you can do it with all of them, which is pretty awesome, and it's kind of fun too. You can just kind of squeeze it out. So yeah, super easy. You can use a towel because they are hot, or you can just do with the oven mitts and stuff like that. So there you have it. Our burgers are all cooked up. I'll show you those. So we have our lovely turkey burgers, and we have our corn with our yummy feisty green sauce over top, and I will mix this up, and I will cut into our cornbread and see what that looks like, and I'll taste it for you too because I don't know what it tastes like. I know all these other ones, but I don't know. So then we have our creamy coleslaw on here. And I will say I should try the feisty green. Yeah, it's kind of like it's got quite a bit of heat to it, the feisty green. So if you don't like a lot of heat, there is a lot of heat in that feisty green. Woo! A lot more than I was expecting, actually. I'm not a heat person, so I really mind the heat. So if you like heat, then you will love that. But yeah, just know that the feisty green part does mean that it has heat to it. So I'm just gonna take this cornbread out and give it a cut. Like I said, I only did 8 minutes in my microwave, even though it calls for 9. And you just kind of have to, you can always add 30-second increments until you find out what yours looks like. So there it is, all cooked. And we'll take a piece of it. And like I said, all of these are 100% gluten-free. So we'll see. So it's nice and moist, it's not dry, which is really good. Yeah, it's got a really good flavor. You can definitely taste the corn and a little bit of cheddar. My mouth is still burning from the feisty green, so I don't know how much heat this is. I apologize. I should have tried the feisty green after. But I'm not getting much heat from this. But like I said, the feisty green was so hot that I'm not sure. So feisty green, super hot. And I think this jalapeno one is fairly mild. And just a nice little cornbread. That'd be lovely with a side of some beans, which we do have our baked beans and stuff. So there is our cooking class for you. I have my pudding set on the side. Let me grab that too for you. So that has a nice gel-like consistency. So it's our yummy pudding. You put a little whipped cream, and like I said, you can mix that in with some whipped cream to make it like a mousse. So that is our summer meal. I'm sorry I took a few extra minutes just to try to cram it all in for you and kind of get a whole flavor. Like I said, we're talking in between, so it kind of makes it a little bit longer, but not too shabby to have corn, burgers, a coleslaw, cornbread. We got our sides and for dressings, and we also have our chocolate pudding. So not too shabby to be able to squeeze all that in and do all that. So I love our steamer cookware to kind of help with those quick, easy things. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment and I will do my best to answer them for you, or you can direct message me and I will be happy to answer it as best as possible. So the cooking class will stay open. There'll be a whole nother day of posting, so you can ask me questions or do anything. And if you need help, with the product or anything, also you can go on epicure.com or angelamcneil.epicure.com, and all the recipes for all of our, if you just want to search a product that you have, if you say you have something that and you're like, I don't really know what to do with this anymore, if you go on epicure.com, you can actually search under the recipes section, and it says recipes and it also says products. and you can just search for your product under the search bar, and in that product section it'll come up products, or it can actually bring up the recipes for those products as well. So if you need any help with recipes, I'm happy to help with that as well. So hopefully there's some things that you learned. I know it's a lot to kind of cram in one time, and I'm so appreciative that you joined. Good night. Bye.